You're listening to The Marne Report.
Well, hey, Fort Stewart-Hunter Army Airfield. Molly here with your latest edition of the Marne Report podcast. Today, I'm here with my friend Calvin Lawton from the Fort Stewart-Hunter Army Airfield Housing Office, and we are going to talk about PCS season. Thanks for being on the show with me today, Calvin.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
So tell me a little bit about what you do in the housing office.
Well, I inspect houses, units, apartments before tenants move in, make sure it's suitable, everything is functional. There's no life, health, safety concerns as far as making sure they have hot water, the washing machine, dishwasher works, the AC heating works, things of that nature. No leaks in the home, things like that. We also make sure that after a work order is completed, most life, health, safety work orders completed, that the tenants are satisfied with the completion of that work order within a certain amount of time, so that way they maintain and keep the upkeep of their unit while they're here for Stewart-Hunter Army Airfield.
Sure. So the housing office, the Fort Stewart-Hunter Housing Office, is actually part of our Directorate of Public Works, which is part of the garrison, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then we have our housing partners, which is Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield Family Homes, which that's actually a contract, correct, with Balfour Beatty Communities?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
All right, so you guys are kind of like that conduit. Are you the middleman between the families and the housing partner, or how would you explain your office?
So our office actually makes sure that after Balfour Beatty, Fort Stewart Family Homes does work orders or turns a home. A turn is basically when a tenant moves out.
Sure.
They come in and they refurbish what needs to be refurbished before the next tenant moves in, and make sure that all of the appliances and everything work. So after they go and do any kind of work, our office goes and inspects and makes sure it's done to standard correctly. Sure. And if it's a tenant living in the home, we make sure that tenant is satisfied with the completion of the work that Fort Stewart Family Homes and Hunter Army Airfield Family Homes and Marne Point Apartments.
Sure, that's great. And speaking of turning a home, correct, it's PCS season, right, which is really why we're here. And there's a lot that goes in to what you guys do during PCS season, right? That's a very busy time of year.
Yes, absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about what are some of the things. I mean, I know you say there's a lot of home inspections, correct?
Yes.
But you've got families moving out, and then just a few days later, new families moving in, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So what all goes into that for someone to prepare for that?
Well, the main thing about PCS season is hopefully that tenants would put in a 30-day notice to vacate within those 30 days, if not earlier, before they get ready to leave, and making sure that they put in work orders in a timely manner, so that way the upkeep of the home will be pretty much done and complete during and before and after they leave the facility, the home. And so it's going to be an influx. Mm-hmm. A lot of people leaving, being PCS to somewhere else, and a lot of people coming in. So we have to inspect a lot of homes, many homes, before the new tenants move in. And it's going to be a lot because a lot of times on the PCS season, like I said, this time is every year it's May through August. Mm-hmm. And I think the military has done that, the Army in particular, has done that in order to keep students in school.
Sure.
For the full term, and then they can go PCS during the summertime and start school in the beginning of the school year, wherever they choose or whatever the Army sends them.
Sure.
And it's very important that I think that time frame is for that reason, so school-age children won't miss too many days of school.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. Kids switching schools, I mean, in the same town is hectic, let alone switching schools in a whole entire different state or maybe even country. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I totally agree with you that time period, it's the perfect, lots of downtime in the summer.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And I really liked what you said about making sure that people turn their notice to vacate in, 30 days in advance, but also getting those work orders in early, because that really speeds up the process for Balfour Beatty and for your team, correct?
Yes, absolutely. That process will help a lot in transition, because we would like a home to be turned, so to speak, within 2 weeks.
Sure.
If not less. And the more equipped and functional a home is, the less time it takes for Balfour Beatty to turn a home, and that's faster that these tenants can move in the home. Right now, I think the waiting period on Fort Stewart is like 45 days, and that could be because of the turns.
Sure.
If tenants put their notice to vacate in soon enough and call their work orders in and get things fixed before they move out, that's less work for contractors to come in and do while doing the turn. And that can get that house available for the incoming tenants a whole lot faster.
Sure, yeah, and I mean, moving is very stressful, so it might not be number one on a current tenant's mind to do those things and have them done early, and perhaps some people might even think like that's for them to deal with after I leave,
Right.
but you really have to be thinking about how making it easier on yourself and making it easier on that next family that's going to come in behind you.
Absolutely. Consideration of others.
Yeah, yes. Very, very, very big thing.
Yes.
So, when you say a turn, is there like a standard, do they have standard things that they do when they go to turn a home? Like, do the walls always get repainted? What do they do to set it up for the next family?
Well, yes, a lot of painting. That's the main thing. So that's standard for the most part. There's a lot of painting, cleaning from top to bottom, making sure the HVAC system works properly, heating and cooling, making sure that all electrical components are functioning, refrigerator, stove, dishwasher, all appliances, lights, landscaping. Those are a few things that goes on during the turn. And I think the most time-consuming might be, depending on the condition of the home, painting number one and cleaning.
Sure.
So those being two of the, I think, long time-consuming things to do when tenants put in the work orders in a timely manner before they leave, making sure that everything else, like appliances and everything, is working properly. That'll be less time that would have to be put into a turn.
Yeah.
Because some ovens, unfortunately, aren't the best as far as cleanliness, and some of those might take too long to clean and possibly have to be replaced with a new one.
Sure.
So it's very important that work orders get put in a timely manner and to minimize a lot of the other steps that could be prevented.
Do the tenants that are moving out, do they have a list of things that they must complete? Like, in the civilian world, for instance, if you rent a house or an apartment, sometimes they'll say, like, please have the carpet shampooed, make sure that, you've cleaned your oven. Or, do our tenants on Stewart-Hunter, are they required to do any of that? Or is all of that just left for the cleaning crew to come in behind them?
Unfortunately, I don't believe there is a list.
Okay.
The main thing that Fort Stewart Family Homes, Airfield Family Homes, and Marne Report Apartments ask tenants to do a general clean. And that general clean is just making sure there's not a heavy amount of debris left behind.
Sure. Does the outgoing tenant get a walkthrough?
They do. So
Okay.
there's a pre-inspection
Sure.
for move out, and that will let the tenant know about damages and how much they would be charged for certain damages done to the home while they occupied the home. And that's pretty much it. So if a tenant say, okay, I'll succumb to these charges, and they move out, they would get charged whatever fee that Balfour Beatty tell them they are going to be charged.
Sure. So it would probably really behoove these tenants that are still here before they move to get those orders in early to make sure that their home is in tip-top shape before going through that walkthrough process.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. And then you said that you guys do the walkthrough with the new tenants, correct?
We go in when Balfour Beatty let us know that the home is ready to be inspected.
Sure.
And we go in with the leasing agent.
Okay.
And a maintenance technician.
Sure.
So when we go and do our inspection, the leasing agent is there and the maintenance tech is there to fix or correct whatever deficiencies that we find during the inspection.
Cool. Okay, so you guys do that beforehand, and then I guess the new tenant does the walkthrough with the leasing agent, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Awesome.
With the leasing agent, yes.
Awesome.
One of the things that's important as far as the walkthrough with the leasing agent and the tenant, the tenant has the opportunity to write certain things down that they see that would prevent them from getting charged on the move out. So there's a list that Balfour Beatty provides the tenant, a blank list or sheet that they can write down deficiencies that they see, like maybe, for instance, a scratch on the flooring.
Sure.
Right, so they write that down, and then when they move out, they can't be charged for that scratch because it was there when they moved in.
Sure. And then if anybody has any questions through their process, whether they're moving out or moving in, what do you recommend that process be? Should they contact Balfour Beatty first? Like, is there an order?
I think they should absolutely contact Balfour Beatty first.
Sure.
Exhaust all means, try and get a hold of Balfour Beatty before they call our office. Yes.
Sure. So, yeah, really it would be let Balfour Beatty try to fix it. If for some reason they're still not satisfied, then they can come to to your office.
Yes, ma'am.
And then just to put a little plug in, too, for Balfour Beatty, they do have a self-help facility, right?
Yes,
where the tenants can go and visit to get, household items that need to be replaced, right? Light bulbs.
Light bulbs, air filters.
Yeah.
Stoppers for the tub or for the sink.
Sure. Water filters, I hear, even you can get from there, I think.
Some homes have refrigerators that need water filters.
Sure.
And, yes, they can get water filters from self-help as well.
Great. If tenants, old or new, would like to go to self-help to pick up some of these household items, just before you go out and buy an item to repair something in your home, check with self-help to see if they have it first because it's free.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Rule of thumb is if you need an air filter and you don't know what size it is when you go to self-help, take your old air filter to self-help and they would give you the same one that you need that goes into your air handler unit. Same thing with light bulbs. If you take your old light bulb to self-help, they replace it with the same exact light bulb. So there's no guessing into it. There's no guessing involved. Take your old and replace it with the new.
Sure.
That's the easiest way, I think, to do it. And self-help over there would be happy to help tenants with most of their items that they need.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Calvin, this has been you've given some great, helpful information. Is there anything else related to PCS season that you would like to add?
No, I think we covered all of it.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we covered all of it.
And I'll just say that, we completely understand housing is just one part of the PCS season. Calvin, you brought up, the reason why PCS season happens when it does is because you do have to think about school-age children not missing school. So for anyone out there who has questions about their children transitioning from one school to another in their new location, our garrison does have a school liaison officer that would be more than happy to help your families with that. Certainly, if you get to your new location and your household goods have not made it yet, you can visit Army Community Service and you can check out some items from them so you have some household goods while you're waiting for your personal belongings to arrive. We have so many resources for our families that are leaving and our families that are coming in to use. And our Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield Garrison truly is here for our families while they're going through that process.
Yes, indeed.
You can find more information about PCSing on our Fort Stewart website, which is home.army.mil/Stewart. And we do encourage you guys to go there. And again, when it comes to housing, if you do have questions, please make sure that you're going to your Balfour Beatty community centers first, your Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield Family Homes community centers. And then, of course, our Fort Stewart Hunter Army Airfield housing office here through the Garrison is also more than willing to help you if you still have questions or concerns.
Yes, indeed.
Well, thank you so much, Calvin, for being on the show. This has been great.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, and that would be it for this week's edition of the Marne Report podcast. This is Molly, signing off.
Are you looking for more places to get your news? Subscribe to the Fort Stewart Hunter Army Airfield YouTube channel. As we add to this platform throughout the year, users will have access to installation tours, news updates, and plenty of motivating videos featuring 3ID soldiers and more. Visit youtube.com and search Fort Stewart Hunter Army Airfield.